Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we're starting up tonight after a couple days off. Lakers, Knicks, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Back to our normal times for games to kind of take place. And Lakers are coming off a bad Texas road trip, man. Very bad Texas two-step. We lost to the Dallas Mavericks in the first game, barely beat the Spurs after coughing up an entire lead in the fourth quarter of the second, and then came back and got spanked by the Spurs in the following game after that. Very, very embarrassing stuff. Very sour taste left in the mouths of Laker fans after that Texas two-step. Well, we moved past that, and we're looking at the Knicks tonight. And the New York Knicks are a team that has been hovering around 10 turnovers over the past 4 games. They haven't really had more than that, so we need to be aware that they're pretty much taking care of the basketball on league average. They've been shooting the 3-ball pretty solid. In the last game against the Clippers, they did not win the game. 144 points the Clippers dropped on their heads, so their defense, needless to say, is suffering without Mitchell Robinson, who's going to be down with an ankle for about 2 months, from what I understand. So they're starting Jericho Sims at the center position, keeping their backup center in place, which I don't know if that's a good idea. They should probably start Hartenstein, but nevertheless, they're going with Jericho Sims. And that is where we can attack them with Anthony Davis. Now, hopefully Anthony Davis and everybody goes tonight. I saw literally 7 players on the injury report this morning. It's before 8 o'clock a.m., so things could change. But we were expecting Gabe Vincent to be able to go tonight, and he is not. He's out for this game. This was the target date, and it just ain't happening. We also have the addition of Christian Wood on the injury report with an illness. But everybody else is pretty much the same. Also, Jalen Hood-Schifino is out tonight as well. But other than that, you got the usual suspects: Braun, AD, Vanderbilt, and also Cam Reddish is, as usual, on the injury report as game time decisions. So we'll see if they play. But there's been some days off since the last Laker game on Saturday. It is now Monday, so I'm assuming the Lakers should be ready to go for the most part. The Knicks only have Mitchell Robinson out, as I said, 2 months with an ankle. Other than that, everybody should be suited up and ready to go. Now, when I look at this Knicks team, they've lost 3 of their last 5, I believe it was. Back and forth, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. The last one was against the Clippers. And they've also lost games to the Raptors. Actually, no, they won that Raptor game where they did have 15 turnovers. That was the most turnovers I've seen in over 5 games for them. But they lost to the Jazz in a real bad one where Colin Sexton went off. And then they had a fantastic win against the Suns where Jalen Brunson set some history. He had 50 points, 9 for 9 from behind the arc, 5 steals, 9 assists. I mean, he went completely berserk on the Phoenix Suns. So they've been hot and cold, man. They're going back and forth, and right now they're set to win this game if that continues. So we need to break that pattern and send them into their second straight loss tonight. So, I don't even want to talk about the Lakers going up against the San Antonio Spurs. It really becomes a situation where you just look at the fact that we had 3 starters missing. And as LeBron James said, our team is not constructed to be able to win basketball games without 3 starters at this stage of this process. We're just not. We're going to lose if we're missing that many guys in the starting lineup, especially with those guys doing specific things that really provide elements to winning. And I talked a lot about that yesterday in a short Laker video that I did in the morning. I encourage everybody to check out. But tonight we expect to have more of our team, and because of it, I think we'll be in a good position to fend off some ex-Lakers that happen to play for the New York Knicks. You're talking about Julius Randle. You're talking about Josh Hart. Now, Josh Hart's minutes are kind of sporadic at this moment because they've got so many guards. You're talking about Emmanuel Quickley, Moses McBride, Quentin Grimes, Archie DiRacano. I don't know how to say that man's name. He's played for the Bulls, played for several teams. He's now with the Knicks. Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know why they signed Dante other than the fact that they wanted the synergy. from Villanova, but they have too many guards. I mean, when is Emmanuel quickly going to get his opportunity? Obviously, Jalen Brunson is your star. It's just too many guards there. But you do understand that because they have so many guards, any of them can go off at any moment. So that's the problem going against the Knicks. You just don't know what guard is going to do what. Quickly can go for 40. Brunson can go for 50. You know what I mean? Josh Hart can go for 35. Like, there's a lot of high-level talent in the same position. So, and you're talking about R.J. Barrett, who needs his shots. You know what I mean? It just goes on and on for the Knicks. They really could use some diversification in regards to moving some pieces out and then bringing some pieces in, maybe trading a couple guards for a center or something like that, or getting themselves a player like Lauri Markkanen, since I hear he's on the block. But excuse me, the New York Knicks are going to be coming in against us with a whole lot of confidence, given the fact that they just seen us lose to the San Antonio Spurs and struggle against the San Antonio Spurs more or less 2 games in a row where we didn't play good ball. So they should probably come in doing homework, thinking that we can come in here and catch this Laker team off guard. We really haven't played good ball since we played the Pacers in the championship game of the in-season tournament. There ain't been a whole lot to really cheer about in regards to us. And so hopefully Anthony Davis can make his return. LeBron James could give it another go. And, you know, Vanderbilt could start getting some minutes because we've been bringing Vando back, but the minutes have been sporadic. He doesn't look like himself. Of course, it's still preseason for a guy who missed most of the season thus far. But, you know, it's a lot of trade rumors going on now. And although Vando is not a part of that, given the fact that his contract can't be traded till January 15th, we did just pass the December 15th line for a couple guys who could now be on the move. D'Angelo Russell, Christian Wood, and a few others as well. So this is a time where guys are trying to prove themselves to be Lakers. Sometimes when this happens around this time of year, you start seeing guys struggle because they're worried about being traded. I think we may be seeing a little bit of that going on. D'Angelo Russell has been struggling as of late. We haven't had a good game out of him in about 3 games, maybe more. And hopefully he can bounce back tonight against this Knicks team and do some good things. He knows the tri-state area is watching. He played for the Brooklyn Nets, won his only All-Star appearance there. And, you know, I'd imagine he wants to show out against this Knicks team, of whom he's had some battles with in the past. So this is one of those situations where I say, you got to keep an eye on just about everybody, man, because the Knicks are a team. Well, even though they don't necessarily play Super Bowl right now, they're 14-11, just nearly above 500. They do have the ability to go off, and they have a lot of Knicks fans here in LA that tend to show up and show out. It's been like that historically. Anytime the Lakers play the Knicks in LA, it's just a bunch of Knicks fans jumping around, just like when the Celtics play. It's just certain teams that LA has a lot of fans here that support them on the road. So be ready for that Knicks crowd to be a little loud and know that we don't play our best ball against the Knicks historically. They tend to come in and beat us. We tend to go there and lose, that kind of thing. So, you know, we've had our pound of flesh out of them. Don't get me wrong, but we've lost enough Knicks games for me to say this, basically. So I want us to come out and understand that Julius Randle is an all-star level player who can do a lot of good things and can also hurt himself as well. So we could look to draw fouls and stuff like that and charges because he tends to do things like that, kind of barrel into people, stuff like that. Hopefully we can beat a more advanced version of Juju than we've known, of course, because we haven't had Juju here in years. But we drafted him. We had him for about 4 or 5 years, and we know him pretty well. So I know he's going to want to show out against us. And, you know, that's always a concern for me when old Lakers come in, especially with big roles. And so that's somebody that we need to have circled on the calendar tonight is trying to defend and make sure that we understand that it's going to take power to stop him. It's one of the strongest players in the league. So just be ready for him to shoot the 3 ball a lot. Maybe it falls, maybe it doesn't. Him and Jalen Brunson are going to basically be the focal point of what I expect to be coming tonight. But don't sleep on guys like Quickly, who can go off. Don't sleep on a guy like Quentin Grimes, although he hasn't really been getting the minutes. I know how talented he is. He's kind of underutilized here with the Knicks. But if given a bigger role in a different situation, he could be a monster. So these are players that I know can play, man. We talk a lot about Isaiah Hartenstein on this channel because I was somebody who was paying attention to him way back when he played with the Cavaliers and was telling my team to go get him. Man, years later, he's been a very serviceable backup center, if not a little better than that, for various teams like the Knicks and the Clippers specifically. But, this is a night where because they've tried Jericho Sims at the center position and it hasn't worked, and because this dude played for the Clippers a couple years ago, sort of like the D'Angelo Russell thing, he's going to want to play against his old rival, I guess, in a certain type of way. And I expect that to be the case tonight for a guy like him. So keep an eye on Isaiah Hartenstein, offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder. Not going to score too much, but he can make plays for other people, which is intriguing about his game. So between him and Juju, they don't really need a pure point guard to make plays for one another because they can do that when they're center and front court positions. But understand that, of course, Jalen Brunson is going to be the star, and he can do that for sure. And so you just don't really know what you're going to get from the Knicks, to be honest with you. Like I said, they got so many dang guards, man. Dante DiVincenzo, somebody needs to be taken very seriously. He can shoot the ball very well. Came off a pretty good couple of games where he was hitting the shots from behind the arc very well. So we got to keep an eye on him. He might be in the starting lineup. He might not. You just don't know what Thibodeau's going to do. But they got so many lead guards that you can count on at least two of them going off. And I think Josh Hart's a good bet because, of course, his Laker tenure and for the fact that he just hasn't really been playing that well as of late. So I would expect him to try to bounce back strong against his old team, the Lakers. So, this is one of those nights where I'm just like, man, you just don't really know who's going to go off. You could try to do homework on the Knicks. Maybe the last game will tell you a little bit of an indicator of what you're going to see from this team. But they're so wildly inconsistent, the Knicks are, you just really don't know who's going to want to step up and be the star for the Knicks. You really don't know. Brunson's going to be a star. Juju's going to be a star. But the third guy could be one of like 8 guys. So that's kind of the problem with going against the Knicks. They play a strong brand of defense for the most part, although they've been struggling defensively this year more so than they had in the past several years. But they do tend to play a strong brand of defense. Thibodeau is obviously a defensive coach, a defensive guru back with the Celtics when they won the championship against us in 09 or 08 rather. So we understand what Thibodeau's strength is as a coach. And we also know that he's going to play a good portion of his starters most of the minutes and give his bench kind of a little bit of minutes. But I think if the last game was any indicator of the last couple games, they've been kind of diversifying their minutes a bit more, given the fact they have such high-level talent coming off of their bench. So that kind of doesn't work when you got guys you're paying so much money sitting on the bench only getting like 15 minutes. So they're trying to straighten that out, but I don't think they quite get it yet. Like I said, they need to trade some guards and get in some more forwards, maybe move some guys around to make what their strengths would be more likely to be on the floor more, I guess is what you could say. Instead of having guys like Quickly, who is probably like their 5th best player, barely playing. And Quentin Grimes, same thing. So, yeah, man, that's what I see with the Knicks. They're going to have to continue to try to adjust without Mitchell Robinson, their shot blocker, and their offensive rebounder. It should be much more, I ain't going to say easy, but it should be a smoother go for the Lakers, not having to deal with him down there with his length and his activity. So that's a big part of the Knicks. That's not going to be a part of the game tonight that I'm pretty sure we can benefit from, especially if AD is on the floor playing strong. So I would imagine this would be a big AD night. That's what this tells me. Last time I said that, he went for 40 and 21 in the championship game. So this is another one of those nights I predict AD is going to go off, man. Big market team coming in, center missing. This is a night AD does what AD does. So hopefully he'll have 35 and 15 and 7 blocks, that kind of thing. But that's really what I'm looking at, man. LeBron James' shot selection kind of weaned off over the last couple games. I think he's a bit tired. Usually when he gets tired and frustrated, he starts jacking up some shots that he probably shouldn't take. But he has revamped his three-point shot quite a bit and is shooting it at a career high this season. So hopefully he can get back to better shot selection just in general, because I didn't think his shot selection was great in Texas and overall. But that is what it is, man. Austin Reeves has been playing much better. He's starting to shake off some of the cobwebs. Hopefully he's past his slump forever, because we did start off the season quite slow for Austin. But Austin has played a lot better over the last several games. And although our team has struggled, he has been on an upward trajectory. So hopefully that could continue tonight against NYK. You know, it's all about putting ourselves in a position to understand how to attack Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a player who wants to go in the inside and shoot teardrops and mid-range jumpers and tweener shots that tend to fall a lot. And then he works his way on the outside, shooting the three ball at a high clip, and then makes plays for others. So this is a very, very surgical guard, one of the best young guards in basketball. And Kevin Durant went on record after he went off against his team saying that he thinks this guy could go on to make the Hall of Fame. And I am one who said the same thing about 2 years ago when he played for the Dallas Mavericks. It's just the way that he attacks. No one's figured out how to defend him. He attacks the mid-range and the paint in a way that can pretty much score over anybody at any time. So until the NBA understands how to attack this dude, he's always going to have a position to score in rare areas that others do not try to attack from in this era. A small guard, and then, as I said, his defense can be good. He had 5 steals in that game against the Suns as well, so it translates to both sides of the floor. He's already proven, given the fact that he went to the Western Conference Finals with the Dallas Mavericks. And we just have to respect this dude as a superstar, as the leader of the Knicks. And that's just what it is, man. As he goes, the Knicks go. If he plays at a high level, is super efficient, they're likely going to win. If he's struggling and not hitting well and various different things that he doesn't translate to good basketball, they're going to lose. That's just what usually happens with this team. So we surround him, put guys like Cam Reddish and Van Doe on him. And we should give ourselves the best shot at defending this dude. We didn't love what we saw from Max Christie in the last game. He had one of his worst games, 1 for 6, some turnovers. Just not a really good game for Max Christie in a starting effort. That was a little disappointing. But I do think that Max Christie is a smart basketball player, given the fact that he's going to be at home. I like his chances of playing better tonight as a young player, and hopefully we can get something good out of him defensively as well, because we need his perimeter defense out there. And, of course, coach has to put him in positions to succeed. I thought he should have played more against Dallas, given the fact that Dante Exum and the guys were shooting the three ball like Golden State. Him being one of our better perimeter defenders out there, I felt should have been on the floor. So it's just about how you use the fella and will he play well when you do. So still a developing player, but we do need his strength out there defensively. So, yeah, man, this is one of those games where you're going to pull whatever out of the hat pops up in your hand. I don't really know exactly what to say about the Knicks other than it could be anybody. It could literally be anybody. And so be ready for everybody is what I tell you. Los Angeles Lakers will be wearing their black jerseys tonight. And, of course, we wore our black jerseys in San Antonio in the last game, got blew out. So hopefully that doesn't continue to trend in that direction. But the Knicks will be wearing white on the home floor. And yeah, that's kind of what I know about the Knicks, man. It ain't a whole lot to say. It's the Eastern Conference team that we obviously don't get to see too much on the West Coast, but when we do see them, it's always an event, star-studded event. You can expect Spike Lee to be in the house if he's in L.A. You can expect a lot of stars tonight. This is one of those games, man. But all in all, we do understand that the Lakers have not been playing their greatest basketball as of late, so if we do drop an egg, it won't be an entire surprise. But we do want to bounce back. We've had some days off. So at this point, we want to just put that Texas two-step behind us, put the NBA championship in-season tournament behind us as well, and just start with a clean slate, man. This is a new season. It's going to take effort. It's going to take homework. It's going to take our best to defeat these teams. And, let's see what type of tendencies the Lakers want to show from here on out. We got a big week here. We're going to be going on the road very soon. Of course, you got the big Christmas Day game. You got a game against the Timberwolves, who are the best team in the Western Conference right now. You got a game against Chicago, and you got Kobe White breaking out and a bunch of people who could be traded there any minute. You got, OKC coming up with a team that has all kinds of talent from top to bottom. So this is not going to be an easy week for the Lakers coming up. It's a tough stretch, and we need to try to take care of the ones that are supposed to be won, and this is one of those. A home game against the New York Knicks that really did get blown out by the Clippers in the last game. I think Kawhi Leonard dropped like 36 points on their heads. James Harden starting to get it together. So they really ran into a better version of the Clippers than pretty much anybody else has seen as of late. So they're going to want to win this game. They don't want to drop both games at crypto.com. And we need to try to force them into that any dang way. So that's where my head is, man. The New York Knicks tonight, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.